Nana Wheat Ninny Bang, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And I've actually been able to find it, guys. I've actually been able to find it in the UK. For those of you who watch my channel often, you know that I had this on a pre-order, and then my pre-order was goddamn cancelled, and then just yesterday, just as I was about to do my power base video, I got an email from Smith's Toys in the UK telling me that this bad boy was actually in stock and I could go pick it up. Smith's doing me good at the moment for the Netflix reissues. I got Hollink from there as well, and I was struggling to get him from some other places. So if you are struggling to get these Netflix reissues, I definitely recommend Smith's Toys in the UK. Some other places are selling out pretty quick, but Smith's, for some reason, they seem to have these in, which is great. So we're going to take a look at the War for Cybertron Trilogy spoiler box. Needless to say, guys, spoilers ahead. I will be going in depth into the box itself, which contains little spoilers, giving my points of view on what I think they mean, taking a look at what's inside, because you may not even know what's inside this box, which is why I haven't put a picture or a video of the product right at the beginning. So guys, from now on in, spoilers ahead, enter at your own risk. Warning's over. Okay, so as we always do, let's take a quick look at the box itself. And looking at the boxes that I have kind of piled up around this room, I think this is probably my second favourite box. Weird thing to say, right? This is my second favourite box that Hasbro has done that I've picked up. First favourite obviously being the MP10G Ghostbusters, but this is a really cool box. So for those of you who can't make out exactly what this is actually an ammo crate. So it's a Cybertronian ammo crate that's sat around from the war. You can see here on the front, obviously we've got Netflix, we've got loads of Cybertronian stuff all over it. As it says, spoilers inside, little purple bits down here, Transformers logo, War for Cybertron Trilogy. We come around the side and we can take a look at the picture here. So this picture is Magnus. So Magnus is the figure that we get inside the box, for people who didn't know that. It's a slightly different variation on Ultra Magnus, but we'll go into him in a bit. Really nice artwork on the side of him kind of screaming out. Then on the side here, spoilers inside. Content, there's spoilers enter. Yeah, spoilers through there. Really nice artwork then as well, just showing like the metal kind of casing for this. Then you've got your strap on the side here to open the box with, and then you've got more of this purple energy on here, but looks really nice, really cool. Underneath we have the destructions kind of, and just saying don't eat things. And then on the top we have the Autobot logo right there. So that's the outside of the box. Nice looking box, but then when we open it, so we open this lid here, so this, I can get this all in correctly so you can see the way that the lid opens here. So you can see the lid opens just like so, and then we have this piece here. So let's just take this out first of all. Oh, we can't take this out. We can take this out. So I'll take this out and we'll go through this in a second after we've looked at the rest of the packaging. Okay, and then we have these two pieces of writing here. So this is where we start to get into real spoilers territory, guys. So those two pieces there, when you decipher them, what the first one, if I bring it around here, the first one that I've read, the first one says, I, Ultra Magnus, surrender myself to you. So, Ultra Magnus, in good faith, hereby surrender to you. So, during the trailer for War for Cybertron Siege on Netflix, we actually see him walk into the Decepticon hideout. You know, you see Jetfire there with his Decepticon logo, you see all the Seekers, you see everybody. And obviously during that bit, that must mean he's surrendering during that piece. I personally was hoping that this was going to be a Decepticon version of Magnus, but unfortunately it's not. And the second one says, this can only mean one thing: Ultra Magnus is dead. So, few ideas around this. I think that, you know, this could be it could be a spoiler, but it could be he goes underground. There's something about Energon as well in the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy. Something about Megatron using Energon to do something to the Transformers to change them a little bit. So maybe he experiments on Magnus. Very interesting though. And then also we can take this piece out, just box, and we get the insert here of the box. And the insert's pretty nice. You can see there that you get the nice little Autobot logo on the insert. You could use that for like part of a diorama or something. I think that's really, really nice as well. So that's the box itself, which contains those two spoilers. So Ultra Magnus, who defects or surrenders himself, and then also the piece around, they think that Ultra Magnus is dead. You also get the destructions, of course, for Magnus, and also Rung, because he comes with the Battlemaster Rung, an Energon infused Rung. And there's the lovely destructions that we can see with the lovely artwork that says inside it we get Magnus and we get the Battlefield Rung as well. So now we're going to take a little look at this. So I've opened this up here now, and this is one of the first little surprises, I guess, that we get. So this was in the top of the box. If you take this off, and then you can kind of touch this, and it feels like Play-Doh in here. But if we can we get it all out? I'm doing this live on camera for the first time. I've not messed around with this beforehand. I undid the plastic at the top just to touch it and see what it felt like, but I've not got this out before, so unboxing, unveiling, I guess. I don't know. I think this is where the here. So this is what's in here. Right, so there's nothing in here. Here we go. So there's something here. Right, okay, so these come like this, guys. So this is a pack of Energon cubes. So you get a pack of 3 little Energon cubes and I guess some Play-Doh. And you can see now that we have the 3 little Energon cubes. So I told you Megatron is messing around with all kinds of Energon in Siege. So maybe this has something to do with it. Maybe that black stuff covers the Energon, and then he infuses Magnus with it, which does something to Magnus and Rung. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, nice. Very similar to the ones that I got with the Insecticons. If you want to see my review on the G1 reissue of the Insecticons, you can check in there. It should come up now in the top corner, just about that. And then yeah, you can check that out. But yeah, very, very nice. Ta-da! And now let's have a look at the main event himself. So inside, as I've already said, we get an Ultra Magnus, and this apparently is the most series accurate version of Magnus that we'll get. So yes, this is a reissue, but the original was done, the other version of Magnus was done in the original kind of G1 colour scheme that all the fans obviously really like, and what we're used to seeing. This is apparently a more show accurate version of Magnus, and I really like this truck mode. I think this is a very much a space truck mode, whereas you know the Prime, and I'll bring that out in a second. In fact, I guess I can bring it out now. Whereas the Siege Prime, when we bring Siege Prime out for comparison, is a very safe space truck mode, I would say. You know, I don't think they went all out on this guy. I think they could have made him a bit spacier. Whereas with this, yeah, I think this is definitely a more futuristic space type vehicle mode. And I really like this. Let's have a little look at the detailing. So the cab itself, so much molded detail. I like this two-tone, almost airbrush look again, with the whites and the greys there, so it's not just a solid white cab that we get from Magnus. I like the fact that it's different to the Prime cab. It's not just a recolor of Prime. There's the difference between blues and the greys there is really nice. And as we go through the cab, similar to Hotlink, when I like the Hotlink version, it's kind of almost like an airbrush between the red and the grey. I think is very nice. His wheels all match, which on Siege and Earthrise is definitely needed, because we don't get many all matching wheels now on the trucks. You get one that's completely different for some reason, but this has all his many wheels all matching, which is absolutely fantastic. Nice again as we go through. There's a kind of airbrush look between the silvers and the blues. So much molded detail. You can see at the back here, so this if you know Magnus well, it's where the legs form. Unfortunately his trailer doesn't open, but he has multiple gun ports, and he comes with multiple weapons. So you can see here that he has all these lovely weapons that he comes with. The cab does separate, but we'll look at that later on when we start the transformation. But all in all, yeah, a really nice truck mode. It rolls, obviously. I may have just not transformed in quite well, because or is that just my booth being my booth? Maybe my booth. But yeah, all in all, really nice truck mode. Quite see-through, obviously, because he is a carrier. Shame the doors don't open, because I think it would have been nice to be able to get the another transformer in here, but it's understandable that they don't, because all of this kind of transforms to then become Magnus, and the transformation on this is actually pretty good. I quite like the transformation. He also comes with what they're saying, an Energon infused battlefield rung. So rung, not sure who rung is going to be, or what version of rung we're getting with this one. I learned the other day from Transformers The Basics, definitely a really good YouTuber to go check out their channel, that Rung was once Primus in an IDW storyline, but not sure if he's going to be Primus in this one. But this is an Energon infused Rung, hot pink mode. I quite like the paint job on this. There's a pink with the silver. Articulation wise, we only get an arm and leg articulation. We do not get a head. If we have a look at his little head sculpt here, we can see there, yeah, it's quite nice. He's got like nice blue eyes, silver face, a couple of different pinks for his body, the translucent pink and just the pink arms. He says he's Energon infused, so I guess that the Megatron maybe is experimenting with him and infuses him with the pink Energon, which makes him hot pink instead of his yellow color, I guess. I've seen that the yellow version of Rung, and then he becomes this more powerful weapon for Magnus to hold. Who knows what will happen. Let's start with the transformation on this guy then, seeing as he's here with us. We do the transformation very simply. Just we turn this up, we put his legs out like that, and then his arms go in and his other arm comes out, and he is the this odd kind of blaster thing. He has 2 effects parts that are quite odd effects parts as well. So put one here and one here. So you can see that he has these 2 kind of odd effects pieces here that I think they've been in the box for too long, so they kind of swing off to the side. But they're quite odd compared to normal box pieces. If I bring Magnus back out, we can plonk rung on the top here, so we can see that. But yeah, quite an odd little gun, an odd little effects piece there. Now it's time to start the transformation on Magnus, now that we've looked at all of the accessories and everything that he comes with. So now we're going to start the transformation, and we will first of all unhook here and unhook here. So you unhook these 2 side pieces. Once you've unhooked those, everything else just disconnects, and we'll leave the trailer off to one side for a second. And we will have a little look at the cab. So the cab itself is disconnecting itself there. Is a nice enough looking cab. Obviously it's not meant to be displayed too much like this. It's supposed to be the full thing that you see, but it's a very nice looking cab. I quite like it. Like I say, a really nice different looking space mode for Magnus compared to the Prime mode. Just do a quick comparison on this guy on his own. Comparison wise, you can see here he is very similar to the size of the Siege Prime, a little bit taller. Earthrise, he's much taller than the Earthrise Prime. And if we just bring out for shits and giggles, if we bring the Masterpiece, another white cab, we can see there how they stack up together. He's smaller obviously than the Masterpiece, and just to prove that I do have him, and I was just about to do this, here is the cab from Power Baser version 2 as well. So height wise, yeah, he's a little smaller than that, so we know that, you know, he is a deluxe. Really, this is the deluxe size figure, and then he turns into more of the leader class figure when we put the armor on him. So let's start the transformation, and then we first of all, these arms just pop out, and they just pop out. This one here, we need to twist. I do the twist again. We twist around there, and then we bring the arms round to the front. Legs, as always on these things, they just pull down. The back comes forward, and you slide this back piece up, which is nice, and then you just click this back into place like that. The cab itself, you just kind of pull the cab forwards, release the arms and pull the cab forward, and then his little head will just pop out, and then you can lock the arms back down, pull his hands around, flip these little tabs out on the back of his feet, and separate the feet, and there we have a pretty dynamic, nice looking Magnus in his cab mode. Here we have Magnus in his first robot mode. So Magnus obviously has 3 modes. This mode is pretty cool. You never really see Magnus kind of hanging around in this mode, so maybe in this version of Transformers we'll see Magnus maybe in this mode now and then. So now let's bring him in and have a look at some of this molded detail that we have here. So really liking the blue that we get across the chest piece here, the airbrushed detailing that we get on the side of the arms here is also really nice. This nice blue head that we have here. Obviously it's an Optimus Prime head with the white and the blue, so classic Magnus colors there, but they've added this grey, this airbrush grey that looks really nice. Down to the waist we get more and more molded detail. Plastic feels fantastic on this. Of course it's a Hasbro figure, so the plastic feels great. We get some really nice molded detail down here again, and this lovely grey and white airbrush. Wheels just there at the side. He's got the kind of front of the cab kind of hanging off his back here, but all in all I think this has got some really nice, and I love this airbrushing they're doing on these figures. So for me, the aesthetically and the way that this looks, I think this is a beautiful looking Magnus. I don't care that if you think this guy should be all white and blue. I like these grey touches, especially if this is closer to how he's going to look in the actual TV series. I want him to match the TV series version. I'm not too concerned about him being just straight up G1 looking. So then let's have a look at the articulation on this guy. Head, we get a full 360 on the head, and he's on a bit of a ball. On the arm we get the full 360 rotation, and he will put his arms out to the side. At the elbow we get a full elbow bend, and I think we also get the full 360 here as well. Hands rotate around like so, we get all that. On the legs we get some nice articulation here on the leg, and we get ratchets at the front and the back, so that's nice. It's always nice to hear a nice strong ratchet joint there. Can he ninja kick? I don't think this guy's going to be able to ninja kick, and I'll explain why in a second. No, he can't. Maybe if I turn it a little bit. Go on, you can do it, Magnus. No, he can't, and we'll take a look at why in a second. Articulation, nice knee bend there as well. Actually quite a really nice, it's not ratcheted, but it's very firm the way that works. We also get some hip swivel, full 360 on a hip swivel, no ab crunch, and we get some toes, some toe articulation. And here's why he can't stand, because he's got these little flimsy high heels here that are kind of sticking out at the side, which do impact him a little bit on his posability. As you've seen, his balance can be a little bit off, but overall really nice, good articulation, and yeah, he looks pretty cool. I like this part of him. Time to transform him and armor him up. And when I say armor him up, this is because we now need to take the trailer, and this trailer now becomes one of the big parts of Magnus. So unfortunately he is a bit of a parts former, so the first thing we need to do basically is dismantle everything. So we can take these guns off the side, and we'll have a look at those in a second. The first thing we need to do is kind of pull the trailer apart. So the trailer here just unclips from the side. These two bits here, they just unpeg underneath. Then this bit here, this is going to unpeg at the sides as well. Yep, just like so, and then unpeg here at the sides. So you've got the whole trailer kind of opens up a little. It opens up a little bit like a yeah, it's a bit like a bat type thing. Then you can remove these parts here, and everything has to kind of fall to pieces like that. That's the first part of the transformation. Once you've dismantled all of that, first thing we'll do is we will take this piece and we will just fold everything the way that it's supposed to be. So we fold this piece in here, we fold this piece down like so, and you can see that's where that sits. These bits here we just unpeg because they're not supposed to be on here, because these go onto his hands. And then we fold this piece up so that becomes the front of Magnus. The arms are already done. We'll just open them up like so. Then these pieces that go on the top, they just fold up like this and fold up like this. Then we come to create the legs, and it's kind of a concertina effect here. So we bring this in, we bring this in, and then fold everything in, and these just tab in around the back to form one leg. And then we do the same on this one, so it's in, and round. Quite a nice little transformation. But he is a parts former, so we can kind of see him here. It's a little bit like that part in Transformers the movie, right, when he gets kind of blown to pieces. So you can reenact that with your siege figures. Yeah, so there he is with his pile of armor. For the next section, we need to bring out Cap again, and then first we're going to start down the bottom. So move the arms up her out the way and start with his feet. So the feet tab in here and on this massive looking tab here, so we just put it into the side and push it in. Make sure that the feet are transformed correctly and put his high heels away, otherwise you won't be able to get his feet on. And then the other section just clips in like so. So we have two pieces of his feet. Next we will bring in the heat. So we need to make Prime's heat disappear. So for that we undo the arms, we pull forward on the cab, and we take this down. We also need to make sure that we pull forward on the cab again, like so, and put the front of the cab right back down to the bottom. This is because now when we bring forth the top of Magnus, this back piece here needs to clip in, so we need to bring this down here. You can see the top piece here, we've tabbed in here and here. Then this back piece here has quite a big tab that just goes in and around this piece here, so we just push this in and quite firmly snap that in. When you're transforming that back for the first time, it does feel like it's going to break a little bit, but it doesn't. It's just a very, very strong tab. And then you can see here we have Magnus with his smaller looking arms, which are quite funny at the moment, so let's sort those out. First things first is that we get one hand out. They tab in into the siege ports here, close it up, and we bring the siege ports up, put them in, put them in right about, put them in, stick it in there, and then we close it up. And then finally these two bits here, make sure this bit's on the back, just slide in and go over, and there we have our fully created Magnus. This is the cartoon accurate version of Magnus, so we don't have the classic as much, the classic red, blue and white. We get some greys in there as well, and I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with this paint job. I haven't ever bought a Magnus before. This is the first Magnus in my collection, and I really like this guy. I think that the grey here is something a little bit different. I like it when the Transformers do something a little bit different, and like I said before, if this is the version that's accurate to the War for Cybertron cartoon, then I'm really impressed by it. I like the molded detail. Let's bring him in and have a little look at his head. I mean, the head here is absolutely fantastic. Lots of molded detail, nice silvery grey here, nice blue eyes there, Really, really nice. Then we've got the greys here at the top that come down to a blue, white and grey here on the hand. Lots of nice molded detail on the front, really nice. I like the way that the grey just kind of sits in here instead of it being, I think it's white usually, but you get a little bit of the airbrush between the blue and the grey. Loads of airbrushing as we come down the bottom. I think this feels and looks to me very, very premium, the way that they've done this. And then on the back we have this nice red piece here with the back. There's not even too much of a backpack on this guy. Very, very nice. Have a look at the articulation. He gets a full 360 on the arms. You get a full joint bend here and here at the elbow. His hands will still articulate round, as we already know. His waist, you do get a full 360 on the waist, and the head will also full 360 on a ball joint. Legs ratcheted here, and you get a full knee joint bend here. You get some toe articulation here because of the at the bottom. His feet though do always stay at this kind of weird slanty angle, which is a bit bizarre. I suppose it helps with the pose that he has to have when he's in this mode, but it's just a bit weird that his feet are always kind of at this odd angle to help him stand up, which is kind of bizarre. But overall, very, very impressed with this figure. Like I said before, I've not owned an Ultra Magnus before. This is the first Ultra Magnus I've ever picked up. I'm cool with this paint job. He does come with accessories, and we'll have a look at those now. So he comes with his classic arm missiles, which are here and here, but on this version they are grey, so you can attach them here, and you can attach them here at the side to give him his classic Magnus look, if not his classic Magnus colour. He also comes with two huge blasters that he had on the which I put on his trailer before. You can attach them here, and you can attach that here on the side. So they're huge, nice looking blasters, and he has another massive gun, which is just a bit of a grey piece of plastic. That's the one thing I will say about the guns that come with this one. I really wish that the guns had a bit more paint on them. They've got some nice molded detail, but there's not much paint. They're just quite big lumps of molded plastic. And then we can also obviously attach rung to him at this point as well, and you can see he is pretty weaponized up. So then let's bring out a couple of his brethren for the comparison. So starting off with Prime, so the Siege Prime, so we can see, because he's got all that armor that he kind of brings on, he stands taller than Prime, which I guess is factual because he's always taller than Prime in the cartoons. And then Earthrise Prime, obviously he is bigger than the Earthrise Prime as well. Really, really nice. They look great together, Prime and Magnus. Very, very nice. So then we come down to my final recommendation, and would I actually recommend that you pick up this version? I think it's entirely up to you. If you don't own a Magnus figure, then this is an easy pickup. I didn't own a Magnus figure. This is my first ever Magnus figure. Even when I used to collect before, I didn't really own a Magnus figure then. And if this is the most cartoon accurate one, then I want the most cartoon accurate one. If I want a G1 one, I'll buy the Masterpiece. I'm very happy with this figure. Yeah, bit of a parts former. He comes with rung. It's a bit of a gimmick, I guess, on the Play-Doh side of it, so he is an expensive pickup for what you get. But I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a decent Magnus, especially a version of this that's accurate. If you're looking for something that's more G1, accurate, then pick up the other version of Magnus. They're still out in the wild in some places. In the UK, I've seen them in a few. But yeah, I mean, otherwise guys, then I would definitely recommend picking up this set if you like the look of this rung. And the box itself is nice as well. As a pack, I think it works, and I think this is a beautiful looking, slightly different version of Magnus. So guys, thank you very much for checking out my content. This has been the review of the spoiler version of Magnus. I have got some other reviews coming up very soon, so if you like what I'm doing around here guys, please give us a like, a share and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, in a bit, peace.